What's good with you? What's good with you? It's your man, Drayton Jackson, draytondjackson.com. You are logging on. I can tell the numbers is crazy. I can tell the numbers is crazy. What is good? So listen, there's been a lot of things that we chopped it up about. And today's podcast, I really wanted to go into, something that was dear to me. A couple of y'all, some of y'all should know that I fasted some time back, and I really, I do it every year. You know what I'm saying? I can't front. For over the last 4 years, I fasted. I switch up between a 5-day fast and a 9-day fast. Most of them have been the 5-day, but a couple of times I've done the 9-day fast, which has really been good. But it's interesting because now, as you know, I started to research fasting and everything. I'm like, oh, okay. So now the medical world has gotten into it, and it's being looked at differently. Fasting is not now just associated with religion. As everybody know, the Islamic world during Ramadan is the biggest thing for fasting. But even with that, I think it's not as strenuous as what I was talking about with not eating anything, with not, drinking certain things, besides water, besides tea and coffee. That's the only thing. And I'm talking about straight black coffee, not no other, nothing else. But a lot of the health benefits now are just coming out about fasting. We got some time on it, and people finally said, hey, why don't we check this out and see what's going on? And yes, there is information, not a lot, but there's information that's out there on the benefits of fasting. So your man that just came off, I just came off of my 9-day fast, the body rejuvenated itself, and there's some things that I was like, yo, we got to go into this. Because sometimes, let me tell you this, sometimes when any of you that really fast, that I'm talking about just drinking the water, just drinking the tea, your mind will play tricks on you, and you need a reason. So in the middle of my fast, as I was starving, I had to go and do some research on the benefits, man. I wanted to know the benefits of it. So I caught a couple of things that's out there that I think that you guys will appreciate. But basically, I'm going to just say it this way. On a spiritual level, I call it realignment, and getting right back with God. That was my whole reason for it. And sacrificing and showing God that I'm thankful for what he has given. And I think the pain and everything that I go through, I'm hoping in his eyes, he was like, okay, I get you, but it is what it is, because being hungry is a serious, serious thing. And when you are fasting, that mindset has to be about prayer for me. And I think that that's the one thing that I really enjoyed about it, is really quieting my mind a little bit and getting focused. So today we're going to talk about fasting, man. We're going to talk about the benefits of fasting. We're going to talk about, what it all entails. And, what I see out there now is fasting being used as dieting. So we're going to go into that and really dive deep in it. I'm not going to go into the religious side of it, because we all know that. But I mean, the information that I got out there, hey, if any of you really, really wanted to lose some weight, this might be the thing right here. And stay tuned, and I'll show you in the research and everything. Welcome to Conversations with Dre. It's your man, Drayton Jackson. And log on, draytondjackson.com. If you're not there, log on and send me, get into the email so we can send you some stuff, some updates and all of that. And, we got a couple of live podcasts getting ready to come up. So hook up with your man. We coming right back with you. Drayton Jackson, Conversations with Dre. What's good, baby? Today's show is brought to you by Gather Together, Grow Together at g2g2.org, helping low-income and homeless people in Kitsap County. What's good? It's your man, Drayton Jackson, draytondjackson.com. So we here, we talking about fasting today, man. And if you are fasting right now, yo, congratulations. Stay tuned. Just keep running this over and over every day. And you'll get through it, my dude. You'll get through it, my lady. Trust me, you're going to be good. So, when I was researching it, and because I wanted to give y'all some, just facts on there was a lot of independent research. Nothing that I felt was really, really, worthy of just putting out there. But Medical News Today, which is a website that kind of puts out some good stuff, and I really saw that, okay, they get kind of, the New England Journal of Medicine kind of goes to them every now and then, and a lot of what Medical News Today will quote from the New England Journal of Medicine, because some of the doctors that are there for it. So I was like, okay, they had some good stuff. So Honor Whiteman, and I don't know male or female, but this is Monday, the July 27th, 2015, which was something that was there. And it seems like everything that I did see, I will say this, everything I did see seems like it happened around 2013 to 15 on medical research on fasting. So, but I wanted to give you guys something that was really there. And like I told you, all of our stuff is up on the website. You can go download it and go deeper into the article. But this is what Anna Whiteman said in the Medical News Today. She said that fasting is commonly associated with the month of Ramadan. As you read this, billions of Muslims around the world are engaged in a declaration of faith that involves abstaining from food and drink from dawn until dusk. While fasting for Ramadan is down to spiritual belief, many of us choose to fast with the belief that it will benefit our health. But does it? That was the question that was asked. And then she goes on to say this. Let me say it, 'cause I don't know if Anna Whiteman is a male or female. In recent years, numerous studies have suggested that intermediate fasting, abstaining or reducing food and drink intake periodically can be good for us, making it one of the most popular diet trends worldwide. So, it's interesting to me, right? With so many of the diets that people do, it always surprises me that, not eating would be a no-brainer, right? So I'm just being honest with you, and I don't want to down anything about what I'm about to say. But if you become an alcoholic, right? The first thing that they tell you to do, look, you gotta stop drinking, right? If you become a drug addict, the first thing you need to stop taking drugs. It's bad for you. It's killing you. It's going to do that. I never understand why anywhere that people go that they don't, like, no doctor ever tells them that, like, you know what, you have gotten up here, you need to stop eating. Just stop eating altogether. They push out diet, they push out exercise, which is hard. Exercise is hard for a lot of people. I think that nobody gets it. You know what I'm saying? Biggest Loser to me, one of my favorite shows to watch, because what Biggest Loser does is they put diet with exercise. Because I always tell people you can lose weight all you want, but you're not gonna lose the fat. The fat has to become something. So a lot of times you see people out there, you'll see them, they have lost all this weight, but then they got the excess fat, right? And now you got to go get an operation, do whatever to get rid of the excess fat. But now, what's interesting is that I never understand, why people or why doctors or anybody, and, any of you that are in the medical field, let your boy know, you know what I'm saying? Let me know if what I'm saying is right or wrong. Why don't you just tell people to stop eating or fast? So, what I realized, right? You have fasting diets out there, right? The 5-2, right? Fast diet, right? It involves, I think, calorie intake or something like that, right? So for 5 weeks, you reduce your calorie intake, you reduce taking in anything, but the majority of your meal is based off of less than 500 calories, which is damn near not eating anything at all. You know what I'm saying? And I think we get scared and our mind has been conditioned now to go ahead and think that, okay, this is what we have to do. We have to eat. We have to, and you really don't have to eat. You know what I'm saying? And I think that in America, definitely in America, we are pushed, because let me tell you this, and I kept saying this to my producer, I said it to my wife, I was like, yo, I did not realize how many food commercials is out there being ran on a daily basis until I started fasting. And I'm sitting up there watching TV, and I'm like, oh my God, there's a Burger King commercial, after a McDonald's commercial, after an Arby's commercial. And I mean, it's hard. And I think that we're being pushed so much to just eat and eat and eat that we don't understand that we're being indulged. What do they constantly say, right? They constantly say America is overweight, right? And if I'm not mistaken, I don't have the facts on this, but if I'm not mistaken, didn't they just move the scale up to say what being obese was? Like they kind of said, you know what, we got to move this scale up somewhere, because they're starting to see like, damn, we all are falling short of it. So I think that, you know, knowing that, and knowing that your body can reset itself is very interesting, right? So in the same article that we're talking about, right, they quoted according, and this is a quote from the article, according to Dr. Michael Mosley, author of the Fast Diet books, right, this eating plan cannot help people lose weight, but it offers an array of other health benefits. Studies of intermediate fasting show that not only do people see improvements in blood pressure and their cholesterol levels, but also in their insulin sensitivity, right? He adds, in the June 2014, for example, Medical News Today reported on a study suggested periodical fasting, defined in a study as 1 day of water only, fasting a week. 1 day only now, of water only, right? May reduce the risk of diabetes among people at high risk for the condition. So think about that, right? So here it is. All they're saying is that just 1 day of just water fasting for a week, you're going to reduce your chances of getting diabetes. So think on that. You know what I'm saying? I really want you to think on that. Here it is. You going to the doctor, right? Doctor tells you that you're on the cusp of diabetes, or you got you're right there with diabetes. But the fasting, what did they say? It may reduce the risk of diabetes because of the insulin. So here it is. The thinking that would come in a lot of our minds, we are so conditioned to eat that we don't take the moment to think, damn, if I just stop and deal with the grumbling for a minute, right? And let that grumbling in my stomach go away. And it's like, nah, we good. We don't need to eat. You know, drink 8 ounces or 16 ounces of water, and, you know, it'll make up for it, right? So in the same thing, they also said that in another study conducted by Dr. Volter Longo, right, and colleagues from the University of Southern California in Los Angeles, found that longer periods of fasting, 2 and 4 days, may even reboot the immune system, clearing out old immune cells and regenerating new ones. A process that they say could protect against cell damage caused by factors such as aging and chemotherapy. Think about that. So you're fasting, right? This part I did. Let me tell you this. I think I've been fasting for maybe about 20 years, right? I'm not going to say every year out of those 20 years I was fasting, but you start to realize, like, oh my God, I feel so much better, right? The longest fast I ever did was about close to 2 weeks. I did, you know, I went hard. About 16 to 21 days. I can't remember right off the top right now, but I went a long time. And then, you know, you really, when you start reaching that, you just don't want to eat no more, which is kind of, you know, you got to put something, you know, in your stomach. After that point, it's not a matter of just, you know, water. What do you say? You can't live off bread alone. Trust me, you can't live off of water alone. Trust me. You know, so, you know, you start to get into that. But understand this, that you're reproducing cells. You are reproducing cells in your body from fasting. That means that your body is cleaning itself out from old cells that were probably destroying you anyway, and it's giving you new cells, right? So I think that, you know, if we take time and we really understand that fasting, and, you know, not just keep it on the religious side of it, but look at it from the health benefits, we're adding more time to our life, right? And I do believe they say, you know, every day that you work out, you're adding 2 more days, right? So why aren't we looking at that? with some of us walking around, we look at the fasting, we look at everything that's there, and instead of saying, I'm just doing this for the benefit of losing weight, why not doing it for the benefit of your health, to understand that this is going to help me to live. This is going to protect me from diabetes. It's going to protect me from, certain diseases, because now you done rebooted your body. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to take our break. We're going to come right back. I'm going to get deeper into this, because I want you guys to understand what fasting is all about when it comes to understanding it for your longevity of living, because I care for you. You know what I'm saying? I care for you. Conversations with Dre, your man Drayton Jackson, draytondjackson.com, and hit me up with some questions, man. If you know some stuff that's out there, hit your man up, and tell me what you have done, to benefit yourself. If you've had fasted, what's the longest time that you've fasted? And, we'll talk about it another time on it, all right? Much love. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Today's show is brought to you by Cars Auto Repair at 3740 Wheaton Way in Bremerton, Washington. Fixing cars in Kitsap County for more than 10 years. Give Chris a call, 360-561-1566. What's good? Welcome back. It's your man Drayton Jackson, draytondjackson.com. Conversations with Dre here on the podcast. So listen, we talking about fasting, and we talking about the benefits of it. We're talking about, not just for the spiritual part of it, which everybody knows fasting for. So medical news today, Anna Whiteman, I don't know male or female, but July 2015, kind of gave some real good, information on how it's benefiting when people are doing these fasts. Things like dealing with diabetes and how it can help. Just 1 day of water only, fasting a week, may reduce the risk of diabetes, which is good. And then UCLA even went deeper and said that 2 to 4 days may even reboot the immune system and clean out, old cells and give you new cells. So, we want to really look at this from a different perspective when we talk about fasting, because everybody, looks at fasting as, a religious thing, whether you're Muslim. A lot of Christians do certain fasting for it. I don't know. Do Jews fast? I got to check that out. I don't know. Do Jews fast or not? If any other religion really fast the way that Christians do, and then Muslims do as well. But there's a big thing that you have to look at as far as the benefits. Now, there's if some of you guys on YouTube, there's a weightlifter called Mike Rashid, who I follow, and last year he kind of switched to eating one meal a day. And a lot of people were looking at him like he was crazy. A lot of people didn't really understand it. How can you lift weights and then eat one meal a day? And he said, because I followed him when he started, and then I think like 2 months in, he was like, "Yo, I'm more energized. I feel better." And he still took his whey protein. He still did everything they had to do, but he was only eating one meal a day. So his food intake. Now he cut out, if I'm not mistaken, he cut out the red meat. Shout out to you, Mike. And I think in that process, he kind of rejuvenated himself, and he said he was lifting better. His energy was more up. He wasn't getting as tired, right? So a lot of that is a result to, what I'm going to say. There's a Dr. Longo who explains that when you starve, right? When you starve, because I'm not talking about the one meal a day that Mike Rashid was doing. I'm just talking about what Dr. Longo was talking about, how the system kind of uses itself, right? And what winds up happening is you start to really, really gain more energy. It's crazy, that people don't get it, but it's really, it's one of those things that you have to experience. Because like even with me, after I got to the 4th day, I was really energized. But I think that me thinking so much and things that I had to do, because I didn't stop the podcast or anything like that, so I was really killing myself on it. But check this out. It says This is a quote now from the same article that we're talking about. Since the body is unable to get energy from food. Now, listen to what I'm telling you. This goes to, Mike Rashid doing the 1 meal a day thing, right? So if you're fasting, right? Since the body is unable to get energy from food during fasting, it dips into glucose that is stored in the liver and muscles. This begins around 8 hours after the last meal is consumed. When the stored glucose has been used up, the body then begins to burn fat as a source of energy, which can result in weight loss. All right, this is Dr. Razid Morif, right, from the University of Oxford in the United Kingdom. Understand what he just said. And I want some of you guys that are out there, you may be dieting, you may be going and lifting weights all day, and I'm not getting skinny, I don't see the six pack, which, and let me say this too. I just not to digress. I want to say something about the six pack. Getting a six pack has nothing to do with how many crunches or how many sit-ups you do. Let me say that again. Any of my weightlifting people out there, chime in. Let me know if I'm lying to the people. All right. A six pack has to do with dieting, how much you eat, because your stomach has to be down so the muscles can show. So you can do 300-400. I don't care how many sit-ups you do. If you're not dieting right, then you're not going to see that six pack. So, and what this is saying, listen to what it says now, right? When the stored glucose has been used up, the body then begins to burn fat as a source of energy. So why aren't you fasting? Let's go back. We done spend how much per month on the gym membership, and you working out all day, but you still coming home, you drinking your diet soda, right? Which still got fructose syrup in it. you going ahead, you're eating your rice, you're eating the potatoes, you're doing all of that, and then you're trying to figure out why you're not losing weight. And the thing is that sometimes you got to challenge the body. And I think Mike Rashid kind of did it good to me, because what I saw in following him is that he said the body was shocked. Like he said, the first couple of days, I think his body got shocked on it. So the key is that now his body had to find the other sources. Now he was still taking his protein shakes. He was still doing his all of his vitamin stuff that he took, which is his company. But it was all vegan. It was all vegan stuff, which made it really, really interesting, because now you're getting some pure, vegan food for it. But one of the things that did happen to me, and this was the first time that it did happen, I had a lot of gas. I can't lie. I had a lot of gas. I'm just going to tell you. Your boy was passing gas all over the place, right? So, but what I realized, and even after reading this, is that that's what was happening, is my body was just letting out all of the bad chemicals and out of my body. So it was basically a detox. My body was really going through a detox, right? And it was letting out everything that my body did not need. So I would think that I had to go to the bathroom, and here it was. I didn't have to go to the bathroom. It was just, gas that's just coming out. So one of the things that's also being said, right, Dr. Longo explains, is that when you starve, the system tries to save energy, right? And one of the things that it can do to save energy is recycle a lot of immune cells that are not needed, especially those that are damaged cells. So remember we talked about that, right? How the immune system would just really take over and get rid of the bad cells, and now you got new cells that are there, right? So let this go, because I wanted to dive deeper in and see if there was any more information, newer information. You know me, that's the whole thing with this show, is that we don't want to deal too much to the past, so much to the future, but we want to deal with the right now. So CNBC in Modern Medicine, right? This is the title. We're going to have it up on the website for you. Fasting, a trending food idea and new frontier in longevity science. Understand that. Fasting, a trending food idea and new frontier in longevity science. Now, let me tell you this. I don't know if a lot of you noticed that medicine was what I wanted to do in the beginning. Besides being a garbage man and a truck driver in the beginning, I wanted to be a doctor. So there's some stuff that I really went into medicine for, and I kind of love the whole thing about cells and all of that stuff. And let me tell you this. I've witnessed some stuff with cadavers, and I witnessed some stuff in chemical biology that you got to see cells regenerate. Now, I mean, that was a long time ago, but now today, I mean, they know that certain cells can redo the whole body. You could be missing a limb, and the way that they have it now, cells can actually reproduce that limb. So, we're gonna touch base on a lot of this. I'm gonna come back and we're gonna finish this thing up because I really want to go into the CNBC conversation on the fasting, a trending food idea and a new frontier in longevity science. So we're gonna step right back. Don't go anywhere. Conversation with Dre. We talking about fasting. Call your friend to tell you. Call your other friend and say, yo, look, your man's talking about living longer. He's talking about health, man. All right? Stay tuned.
Today's show is brought to you by Gather Together, Grow Together at G2G2.org, helping low-income and homeless people in Kitsap County.
What's good? It's your man, Drayton Jackson. So we talking about fasting today on this podcast, man, and I'm excited. You want to know why? Because I'm hoping that somebody out there that's listening to this may take this to heart and hit me back next year and be like, yo, Drayton, I listened to your podcast and I went out, I did my fast and it was really good. Now I do it, once a month or every 6 months or whatever it may be. And it changed my life. So that's why I'm excited about this. I think that, we look at this different. It can really change a lot of people's lives. So medical news today, Anna Whiteman, which we don't know. I don't know if it's a man or woman. Hit me up, and let me know if you're a man or woman. But July 2015 was talking about the benefits of health benefits and risk of, fasting and whatnot. And I think that we touched on some bases of how it helps rejuvenate certain cells and how this is or also lead to, improving blood pressure, cholesterol, and even helping you with diabetes. Understand that. So, one of the benefits that we saw was that it helped rejuvenate dead cells, to get rid of the dead cells out of your body, and you're good. You know what I'm saying? And then you start really understanding that it's burning body fat. All right? Burning body fat. Because, your energy that you need, that you get from food, it can't get anymore. So where is it going? It's going to the body fat now and getting rid of it for you. So I brought up to you guys about Mike Rashid. Shout out to Mike Rashid. If you go to YouTube, he's a weightlifter that he switched over to a 1 meal a day as a weightlifter. 1 meal a day and still lifting heavy weights, still doing what he has to do. And then he said he had more energy. And then, we understood why, because the body needs to get energy and it's going to eat off of the fat that's there. So I wanted to dive a little deeper and bring everything up to date with it. So CNBC in Modern Science, right? They have fasting and trending food ideas, right? A new frontier in longevity science, right? So Jessica Matthews, which is CNBC. This was October 20th, 2017. So listen to this. Longevity scientists are studying food fasting to find out if regular periods of going without any food or making your body think you are going without food can be a key to longevity, right? In human lifespan. So, from the same article, when you consume calories, also, when you consume calories, also plays a role. So, University of Southern California, who is involved in a pioneering study. Now, understand this. University of Southern Cal has an institute called the Longevity Institute. The Longevity Institute is about researching things that make you live longer. Think how deep that is, man. You got a bunch of people that's studying on how to make us live longer. I shout out to USC, man. Shout out to USC, because I really, really give a lot of respect to that you guys are out there working on how to make us as human beings live longer, right? So their research is basically dealing with stuff that is really about, what is benefiting you, what do you need to get rid of to go further. So what they were saying is that, and this is Valor Longo, a fasting diet has been tested on yeast, rodents, and small groups of humans. The effect producers lead researchers to argue that larger clinical trials in human, right, has also launched for a non-for-profit startup. So now they're looking for the money to go there. But this is what they found so far, right? The Research Institute also put rodents in a fast mimicking diet twice a month for 4 days. At the end of each period, blood glucose levels were 40% lower, a finding that study authors suggest may show that fasting can help with diabetes and other degenerative diseases. You understand that? So the result was published in Cell. Now, Cell, if any of you in the medical field know that Cell, I'm gonna put this up too. Yes, there is a whole research thing on Cell. All right, and what they do is they go back. So cell-based, stem cell-based therapy is what they really deal with. So listen to this. Listen to this. In mice, a 4-day fasting mimic diet induced a stepwise impression of SOC17. Now let me give you my knowledge of SOC17, because I had to look, figure it out. I was looking it up. I was like, damn, I kind of remember it, right? If I remember right, that's the protein. It's a chemical makeup that produces the protein for us, right? So with that generating, understand, when that SOC18 reaches a certain level, the body starts to eat up everything else, right? So you losing fat like crazy, right? Then the PDX1, all my doctors that's out there, you guys know this, right? It promotes and pushes insulin. So in the weightlifting world, they tell you, this. If you look at PDX1 is in a lot of the weightlifting powders that's out there. Why? Because it's pushing the insulin to you. So it's a major player in development of what you have to do with insulin. So understand what they are saying with these two things. And I didn't mean to go, left field with medical for everybody, but understand that they have found that if you fast, your insulin level is being increased and everything is balancing out in your body. So that means that your diabetes, everything that you want to do, you do 3-4 days of fasting a week. Diabetes gone. That's what this research is really saying. We're going to put it all up for you. We're going to put it up for you so you can have it. And like I said, what I'm really, just shout out to USC. It's called the Longevity Institute, right? They are really digging into how to make us live longer. And I really was, oh man, you have to be really surprised and happy that we have somebody that's paying attention to what's really going on with us out there. And these are the things you need to do. So they're saying that fasting, right, is something that will cut out diabetes. How many people I guarantee 2 people in your family that has diabetes, right? So then we're talking about obesity. Then we're talking about heart disease. We're talking about all these other things. And here it is. All we have to do, maybe, and I'm not telling you go 4 and 5 days. I'm just saying maybe 2 days a month. Just cut it down. Now, I'm not a doctor, so go ask your doctor. Like, look, I'm thinking about doing this. What do you think? And any doctors, in their right mind is going to tell you, I think it would be a good idea if they're really researching it. Or he may say, you know what? Let me go see what's really out there. So now, look, all of the negative that I've ever saw or heard on fasting has been simple things, right? Simple things in life. We talk about dehydration, right? In the past year, I think there's been a number of young kids that's on the football field during the summer when they do these training camps that have passed out and have died because of dehydration. You don't stop liquids. You can't do that. Your body is full of water and it's made up of water. It needs water. There's nothing into that. When I went on my almost 2-week, 3-week fast, right? Almost a month actually. I mean, I was living off of water alone. Between my water and my tea, I was good. And I literally did not have to eat anything. And what I'm saying to you is that, it's a lot that goes into it. So now the other thing that I found is that it causes heartburn. Because I want to give you the negative too, right? So dehydration, heartburn, right? Stomach acid, your stomach acid, of course, with heartburn, which I kind of went through. I got acid reflux, so it really bothered me. And even drinking water for me was really hard for it. But what it really boils down to is that if you weigh the positive on the negative, you're not going to find that much on the negative side. You're going to find so much positive coming from fasting. Now, let me just say this, right? Because no matter what you want to say, it's up to you. So I've been fasting for years, right? And it's been more associated with religion than it has for anything else, right? And I think that now, with so many diseases that we have, so many people just dying of simple things. And I'm being honest with you, the stuff that we eat is not natural. You know what I'm saying? We're not growing our own foods anymore. So everything is processed. And I think about this. Let's put this on your mind real quick. If you just sit back and you think about all of the stuff that's in the processed foods that we eat, all of the fast foods that we eat, why wouldn't you give your body a break and just reset your body? Now think, here we go. You do it for your car. You want your car to go to 300,000-400,000 miles. You doing that oil change every some odd thousand miles that they tell you to go in. You do it for your computer. You reboot your computer. We do it for everything else except our own self. We'll work out. We'll do everything. But we don't do is give our body a break. Let me say it this way too. Your stomach is working 24 hours a day. So every time that you eat, you are making your stomach work. Could you picture if your stomach did not have to work for 1 and 2 and 3 days? How much your stomach and your body would get back to you if it could take a break from digesting food? What I'm trying to tell you guys is this. Your body is producing new cells. Your body is balancing out when you don't eat, when you don't fast. Like I said, I'm not your doctor. But go to your doctor and say, look, I'm thinking about doing a 2-day fast. Is this in the right frame for me to do? Can I do it? With the medication I'm taking right now, can I do it? I'm going to tell you this is that I believe that if any of you guys have done it, come back, hit us up, let us know how you felt after doing it. I would tell you start off with, 1 day. Just go 1 day without eating. We saw it in there. What did it say? 8 hours after eating, the body starts to break down certain cells and reproduce. So let's look at this from a longevity health position, not just losing weight, not just spiritually, even though, I do it. Like I said, I do it for the spiritual aspect of it. But I want you to live longer. I want the podcast when I'm sitting up here doing it at 90. I'm sitting up here and I'm talking about, I told you. If you go and you fast, we going to be here. So this is what it's going to boil down to. Go out there, research fasting, give your body a break, rejuvenate your body so we can live longer, all right? So listen, conversation with Dre. It's your man, Drayton Jackson. Yes, draytondjackson.com. And if you're on there, hit me up. Give me the stuff on Facebook, DraytonDJackson. Instagram, DraytonDJackson again. And then, as always, draytondjackson.com. So until the next time, remember, we having a conversation. And yes, I'm doing all the talking. Peace.
Conversations with Dre is intended for entertainment purposes only. The views and opinions expressed in this show by its hosts do not represent the views, positions, and opinions of Family Day Foundation, For You Entertainment TV, and its affiliates.